NUI announced itself on the Northwestern campus Thursday, with a burst of purple and white balloons and cries of "Let's go, Wildcats," as students, staff, and alumni gathered to watch from afar as the men's basketball team played its first game ever in the NCAA tournament. When players took to the floor 1,400 miles away in Salt Lake City, the lakefront campus felt an unprecedented buzz. As a 78-year record of futility officially ended, students sneaked away from their finals week studies to assemble in an atrium at the Norris University Center and watch the Wildcats grab a thrilling win over the Vanderbilt Commodores. "When I came to Northwestern, I don't think I thought of athletics," said junior Hussam Khater. "I'd been watching the tournament my whole life, and I never heard of Northwestern basketball, so the fact that they did make it while I was at school here, it's one of the things you'll always remember." Northwestern's 230,000-strong alumni base was well represented at the campus viewing party, too. Steve Smith, who graduated in 1970, traveled 4 hours from his home in Spring Lake, Mich, to take in the game at his alma mater. "It's just great that Northwestern is getting respect in athletics as well as academics," he said. "When you love a school, you want to see it succeed. You want to see it competitive and respected." That sense of a sports awakening has been strong for months in Evanston and beyond, as students and alumni have watched the long-time format achieve unprecedented success. Some have compared the basketball team's breakthrough to the 1995 football season, when the Wildcats ran up a series of startling upsets on their way to a Rose Bowl appearance. But given the duration of the basketball team's NCAA drought, Thursday might have felt even better. "This is a great thing," said Bruce Foster, a retired Northwestern staff member, who was watching the game on a jumbo screen at the Norris Center. "It's historic." Away from campus, many Northwestern alums also relished the anticipation before game time. The school's Alumni Association organized watch parties in 30 cities across the country, including 2 gatherings in Salt Lake City. Graham Boucher, a Chicagoan who got his undergraduate degree from Northwestern in 2015, was among the many alumni to trek out west. Speaking by cell phone outside the arena, he said he and some college friends got their tickets immediately after the matchup with Vanderbilt was announced. "Utah's capital was awash in purple," he said, with strangers calling out, "Go, Cats." As he walked down the street, it was particularly heartening to see the joy of alumni who graduated decades earlier, he said. "Some of the older alumni stuck through some pretty rough seasons," he said. "To experience this with them and see what it means as school to see, something you'll always remember." Stephen Epstein, who graduated from the university's law school in 1964, is one of those patient alums, preparing to watch the game from his home in Lincolnwood. He said he had performed a familiar ritual at an unfamiliar time. "Last night, for the very first time in March, I put up my Northwestern flag, which I normally fly on the day of every home football and basketball game," he said. "It was a very, very good feeling. I hope I continue to do it for a very long time." Even friends of the program were gleeful with cautious hope. Season ticket holder David Adams, whose daughter graduated from Northwestern, said he and his wife had put on their Wildcats gear while awaiting tip-off at their Lake Zurich home. "Seeing them get in is satisfying, but I'm hoping for a win," he said. Northwestern was in control for most of the game, but when Vanderbilt came back from a 15-point deficit, nerves at the campus viewing party grew raw. Some in the back rows jumped on their chairs, craning their necks to get a better view. The room grew silent with each free throw, every hand stretched out, fingers wiggling, and the crowd erupted in applause each time the Wildcats scored. "I can't look," one student screamed, covering her eyes, but still peeking, as the ball landed in the hoop. With the clock running down and Northwestern up to a final, Vanderbilt he fell astray, giving the Wildcats the win, and turning the Norris Center into bedlam as fans hugged each other and wept. Sophomore Amanda Rossner, fresh from her last exam of the quarter, jumped up and down on her chair. She grew up in Atlanta in a Northwestern family and couldn't wait to call her parents to celebrate their team's change of fortune. "My fingers are still trembling," she said. "It's quite a feeling of euphoria." Alumna Julie Schatz had her 10-month-old daughter Heidi strapped across her chest in a baby carrier and was careful to tighten the straps before jumping up and down in elation. She met her husband Paul at the Northwestern home game 8 years ago. They lost to Robert Morris, and Paul Schatz said watching the team that brought them together achieve its historic triumph felt like a personal milestone, too. It feels like letting go of all the frustrations of all the past seasons, he said.